Hello, my love, and welcome back to your favourite podcast, Growing and Glowing, with me, your host, Mrs. Ellie Swift. Welcome back, everybody. This podcast is your safe space to delve into all things life learnings there may be, from spirituality, friendship, motherhood, grief. The list goes on. I am here to provide you with a friend through what can be a very up and down journey of growing and, of course, glowing into the very best version of who you truly are. There is a new energy surrounding everybody today. Don't you feel like that? I just feel like I'm literally, like I have a whole new perspective, a whole new outlook, a whole new fire inside me right now. We're going to get into it, reasons why. But welcome back, my love. Today we have a very, very exciting, very highly requested episode. We are going to be discussing everything friendships, your guide to making friends in adulthood. I was going to say 20s then, but let's be real. I don't really think this conversation, this situation, this hardship goes away when you turn 30. I don't think it's just a 20s problem. I think it's an adulthood problem. I think when we all leave school, when we leave university and we leave those kind of vicinities where we're supposed to have formed our social groups, if we haven't found the people that feel like our tribe, then there's something that society or maybe some inner voice is trying to persuade you that that's wrong and that you've done it wrong and that you've made a mistake. And today's episode hopefully is going to feel like a big warm hug to anybody else out there, because I have very, very often felt this way, even since before I left school. Today I'm going to help you shift all of your beliefs around that, and hopefully you're going to walk away feeling like a beautiful social butterfly ready to open up its wings and make some new friends. So we're really going to get into it today, guys, but first of all we have a few updates, a few things I want to chat about, and of course our affirmation of the day. So first of all, I don't know about you guys, but I have been feeling such a shift in energy recently. It's been leading up to today, and all of a sudden it's literally just like I don't really know how to describe it. It's just like the saturation levels have gone up 100%, and everything just feels so much brighter and more colourful and more exciting, and it just feels like such a great time. And if you have been feeling like that recently as well, it is because the Lion's Gate portal is open. So astrologically, the sun's presence is currently in Leo, and we also have the rising of the Sirius star in the sky on our horizon. Now, the Sirius star is supposed to be like the brightest star we can see from planet Earth. It's something like 2 times bigger than our sun and 26 times more bright or something like that. So you can imagine like how powerful this Sirius star is, and that in conjunction with the sun being in Leo, and of course this powerful energy astrologically kind of coming to its peak on the 8th of August, which is of course the 8th month, giving us 8/8. It's just a moment astrologically that has been honoured for thousands of years to really celebrate a sacred time of activating good vibes, activating good energy, celebrating life's blessings, celebrating inner goddess embodiment, higher self embodiment, attaining elevated spiritual wisdom, carries energy of achievement, accomplishment. It's a really, really great time to manifest, but overall it's a really great opportunity to think about your North Star and where you're heading, and if your current actions and behaviours are leading you towards that North Star, or if there are perhaps some things there that we can leave behind us now, ready to manifest our dream life into its physical form. So if anybody else has been feeling like a really bubbly, motivated, happy version of yourself, that would be why. And it's really funny actually, because if you guys have listened to last week's episode, you will know that we are currently starting. Today is day 1, guys, the day you're listening to this podcast. Oh my god, happy GGTG day. Growing and Glowing That Girl Challenge Day. How exciting. But I have been being called to challenge myself to basically stay consistent with habits that make me feel like me ever since I gave birth to Romeo. And something just took over me last week that was like, why do I keep putting this off? why don't I just start this right now? And guys, since last week's episode went live, I have so much to update you on. I shared it across my Instagram and the Grow and Glowing Instagram that's something that I was really feeling like I wanted to do. Loads of you guys said you wanted to join in. It has already, and right now obviously it hasn't become live because I'm filming this a couple of days before the episode goes out. So I'm currently in this time space not doing the challenge just yet, but we're only in the lead up to the challenge and there are literally 3,000 girls in a massive group chat ready to join me on this Becoming That Girl challenge for 30 days. And guys, I actually can't even talk about this group chat without getting emotional because it's just, I never imagined in my wildest dreams having the community that we have over here on Growing and Glowing. I know I talk about this an awful lot, and I don't know if I just sound like a broken record. I probably do, and it's probably boring to hear me say this on repeat, but there is something about the community that we hold here that is literally magic, and it's you. It's literally you, the person listening to this. I want you to know you are literally magic. The fact that you're here, spending your time listening to me, says so much about you. Let's be honest, the stuff we talk about here over on Growing and Glowing, it's not for the faint-hearted. If you're here invested in Growing and Glowing, you did not come here to play small babe. I would love for you to know that. You were not put on this earth, if you enjoy listening to this kind of content, to do small stuff. You are here to lean into your power, to become your higher self. And it is such an honour to be able to share that journey with you and really being able to put faces to names and speak to you one-on-one in this big group chat. It's just, oh my God, it's literally just magic. So I would invite with a welcome arms, a welcome heart, and actually I wouldn't just invite you, I would urge you to join this group chat. If you are joining in with us on the 30-day That Girl Challenge, and if you don't know about it, there's loads of information over on the Growing and Glowing Instagram, but essentially it's 8 daily habits that we're all going to be sticking to for a consecutive 30 days. It's drinking 3 litres of water, 20 minutes of movement or activity every single day, 20 minutes of reading a physical book every single day, 10 minutes of meditation. It can be any meditation you like, whether it's a guided meditation, simply just deep breathing if you're brand new to that kind of thing, a walking meditation even, 15 minutes being outside, starting the day with affirmations, ending the day with gratitude, what you're grateful for the day, and 1 diary entry or journal from the journal worksheet. So I created a journal worksheet and an affirmations worksheet where there are 30 journal prompts, 30 affirmations for you to embody throughout the challenge. Every day you have a new one that I've already created for you, so it's easy peasy. It's just essentially bringing ourselves back to the habits that remind us of who we really are. No matter where you are right now in the world, no matter what stage your life is at, if you are being called to put more time and love and effort into yourself, I would love for you to join this community of women that are really showing up for themselves and doing the work. It's going to be so incredible. I'm so excited. I'm going to be posting daily TikToks on my TikTok of everything I'm doing for the challenge. I had a vlog go up live about it yesterday on my YouTube channel. And we've also created a hashtag that if you use social media and you create content about the challenge at all over the 30 days, I'm going to be exploring the hashtag and I'm going to be sending out loads of goodies and bundles to as many people as possible. If you just tag me and use the hashtag, then you'll be in a chance to win the giveaway of loads of stuff. I'm going to do self-development stuff, my favourite books, vouchers, beauty bits, I'm going to ask you guys in the group chat what it is that you would want to be given away. And if you want to join the group chat, I will leave a link in the description box below, or as I already said before, you are more than welcome to head over to the Instagram and there is all of the information there. But yeah, if you want to join, then just join. Today's day 1, the day that this episode's going live. Don't worry if you're not listening to it literally the second it goes live at 6 a.m. If you're joining me at lunchtime today, or even if you're joining me in the evening, you can still have time to do all of this stuff. It's really just about putting the effort and energy back into yourself and how much are you prepared to really show up. So that just links in really nicely with this huge Lionsgate portal, this gorgeous, abundant energy that is flowing through to everybody. So yeah, I'd love for you to join. But anyway, that's just a little bit of an update from me. Now let's head into today's episode. Okay, this is my hot take, right? I think we all find it harder to make friends when we turn into adults Because when we hit our 20s, when we hit the age that we have left school, we've left university, we're kind of starting out in the world by ourselves for a little bit, we all become quite rightfully, and exactly how we should, quite selfish with our own lives, don't we? We're exploring what it is that we want to do. Some of us might go travelling for a few years. Some of us settle down into relationships, maybe the first serious relationship you've ever had. Some of us move out by ourselves, which is a huge step. Some of us really pursue our career and just go full throttle with really reaching for the stars in what it is that we want to start building a foundation for in terms of a job. We start families, we move countries. The 20s are really the years of finding ourselves, and so I think it's only natural that we become so wrapped up in our own life that sometimes it can take you a year or two, or maybe even longer, the second half of your 20s perhaps, to really realise that you've not really been putting as much time and effort into your social life as you'd have wanted. You find yourself perhaps feeling lonely. Maybe you identify more with feeling anxious, feeling stressed, living in fear than those who are said to be kind of like living their best life, and they are surrounded by great people and friends and always busy and always at these big social events. Maybe you thought your journey was going to feel more full of connection at this point in your life, fuller with joy than your reality. Trust me, babe, I have been there. And I also want to add here that it's not necessarily a destination to get to. So when I say I've been there, as if I've left the building and I'm in somewhere new, I think it's important to normalise the fact that this is something we're constantly having to put work into. It's not like all of a sudden I have no friends and then now I have loads. Constantly doing the work to figure out who you are and who you're becoming, like who I am today at 27 years old is so different to who I'm going to be in 20 years' time at 47 years old. And so today, my tribe might not necessarily be the tribe I need or the tribe that I desire to have when I hit 47. I mean, of course, don't get me wrong. There are friends there, as lots of us have, that have stuck around for life. There are a few wonderful, beautiful women that I can absolutely, hand on my heart, hopefully say they will be friends for life. And they are such wonderful, beautiful friendships to really, really cherish. But speaking in kind of like a general term, our friendship group often changes depending on where we are in our life. And so I don't want you to think when I say I've been there as if like, here I am, I'm solid with my friendship group and that's it, I'm done, I don't need to make any new friends forever, because we're constantly evolving and we're constantly changing, and life gives us periods of loneliness sometimes. And I've often thought that the periods that I feel most alone in my life is actually a really great time to be really reflective on myself. It's often a time where I feel like I actually have had the most work to do, most inner work to do, in hindsight. So I just want to shower you with some affirmations quickly. I know we usually do a one affirmation of each episode, but I really want to shower these words of love over you right now and really speak to a part of you that perhaps might be feeling lonely today. Please join me in putting your hand over your heart, taking a deep breath in and releasing, and listen to these words and just really feel them. Making friends is easy for me. Whoever is for me will not pass me by. People enjoy being friends with me. I have so many qualities that other people want in a best friend. The more I value myself, the more my friends value me. It's so easy for me to be able to find supportive, amazing friends. I am always attracting the best people into my life. I meet amazing people wherever I go. It is okay to want to feel loved in this life. It's okay to want to feel like you belong somewhere, like our good old friend Hercules. Hold me back from bursting out into song right now. I would go most anywhere to feel like I belong. Do. Had a little bit of Justin Timberlake boy band pitch coming through there. Watch out for the album coming out New Year 2024. We are here to expand in love. We're here to create situations that allow our higher self to come through. So if you've been in a situation where you haven't felt like you've had any support, any friends, it's probably because it's been testing you to be able to level up, my darling. And really, in a nutshell, it's only through sharing our experience and connecting that we can reach our version of bliss, our version of finding our tribe. Whereas living in isolation can only allow those feelings of stress to grow stronger. It allows comparison to go stronger. You're sitting at a lower vibe. So it's really important to feel like we have a sense of belonging, a sense of friendship. It's really important that we have those beautiful women in our life, because there is nothing more incredible than women really showing up for other women. Personally, I've always been someone with a very small friendship group. I'm talking like literally since year 4, no, actually year 2. In year 2, I get along with everybody, and actually that is one thing I just quickly want to take a little side path down. I remember I must have been so young, like probably even before starting school. I remember my dad saying to me one time, "You're such a lovely sister, you're so good with Katie," and he said, "You get on with everybody around you, you make friends with everybody, I love to see you do that." And tell me why my dad saying that to me ended up being a foundation of belief that I direct towards myself about my ability to make friends and meet new people. He must have said it literally just that one time, but it stuck out in my mind like a sore thumb. And I'm so thankful for that. And that's just like one for the mamas listening. Give your children compliments, babe. Give your children the love that they are here to sit in and to rest in. Tell them that they're great people. Tell them that they're friendly children. One compliment my dad gave me in my entire life, and it really, really stuck with me. And I was so little when he must have said it. So just a little side note there. But in my personal life, you won't find me with loads of group chats. I'm not one of those girls that heads out to a bar with like 20 friends. Not that there's anything against that, and if that is your friendship style, I applaud you. Whatever is best for you, but that's just never been me. I've always been somebody that has maybe 2 or 3 close friends at one time. And I think sometimes glorifying the idea that you can have thousands and thousands of friends, and this idea of being popular, which I know that today we've done a really good job of shifting a little bit into a bit of a newer mindset. You know, even things like Mean Girls, Regina George, everybody wants to be friends with Regina George. Really, by the end of the movie, you recognise who your true friends are and that those friendships are something to be cherished. Look at me using Mean Girls as an example of a really deep life lesson, but I hope you get the gist. I just want to normalise a little bit more the fact that it's okay to have a small closed circle, that you keep your energy for those people in your life, and what they get is the best parts of you. And I wish I could tell every young girl out there that thinks they're not cool, they're not worthy of love unless they have like 50 friends and they're always invited to like these amazing things. I wish I could tell them that it's not about that. You can have that level of love. In fact, even more in a group with just 1 or 2 friends. You don't have to have thousands and thousands of mates. And actually, sometimes you might find that the energy there is spread really thin and you can't connect on a much deeper level like you might be craving if you're trying to share yourself between so many people. So that's just my little 2 cents on that. But another part of being an adult and changing, and sometimes just situations that life presents us with, is learning about how to navigate the loss of a friendship. And speaking from experience, the loss of a friendship in my adult life actually hits me harder than the loss of a romantic relationship sometimes. Like, when you lose a friendship, or a friendship doesn't run the course you thought it was going to, it's really, really tough. And I haven't had that many experiences of it in my adult life, but I've had 1 or 2 really, really hard ones. And I'm still grieving them. I'm still grieving them today. And there are absolutely parts of me that think, we're grown women. Let's just be friends again. Like, let's just be friends again. But sometimes it actually goes a little bit deeper than that. Sometimes I have to remind the people-pleasing part in me that these friendships came to an end for a reason. People either show up or they show themselves. I'm going to repeat that one so that really sinks in for you. When you're going through a hard time in life, people either show up or they show themselves. And if it's the latter, but you're expecting it to be the first, one of the worst pains. But remaining strong enough to remember the most important thing is to have respect for yourself and to set boundaries for yourself. And just like your mum would say, when you break up with a boyfriend, there are plenty more fish in the sea. There are so many more soul-aligned people out there for you to form really strong, even more beautiful connections with. So take it from your gal. I know how it feels when you lose a friendship in adulthood. And it's rubbish. But it doesn't mean that you're never worthy of a loving friendship ever again. It doesn't mean that you're never going to meet your people. Reflect on the side of you that it is bringing up. Reflect on the lessons that you can learn from that loss of that friendship. But don't stop putting your heart out there. Don't stop connecting with people. True connections are formed when we can share our vulnerability with people. That is the human experience. It's only through sharing experience that we can really, truly embrace one another and form these kind of deep friendships that we all so badly want. Sometimes living on the surface level, it just doesn't do the job. Trust me, I've had problems within the last few years of my life that have made it really uncomfortable and really challenging for me to present vulnerability. And although it might make me feel uncomfortable sometimes, people can't connect with you. You can't build those friendships unless you're willing. 4444 on the recorder, just as I said that. And now I can't remember what I was saying because I got too excited about that. But what I'm trying to say is don't let the loss of friendships as you go through life determine your perception on how worthy you are of love, how worthy you are of true friendship and of true connection. You are so lovable. You are more than lovable. You're incredible. And there are so many people that would just adore, I can't even put it into words, like I'm literally struggling to find words right now, adore to be friends with you. Like, you're so amazing, and I'm sorry that people haven't been able to see that. I'm sorry that you don't feel like you have anybody. I'm sorry that you feel alone. But your people are out there, and they want to find you too. So put yourself out there. I want to share this quote with you from Abraham Hicks. People will love you. People will hate you. And none of it will have anything to do with you. This is your loving reminder that other people's perception of who you are is nothing to do with you. It's not. It's all based on their own personal experience of life. Someone else's idea in their mind of who you are is not who you are. Of course it isn't, because they're not you. Everybody in your life will have a different stance on who you are. Even if it's your closest friend, your mum and your sister, they are all going to have different perceptions of you, but none of them make it true. You are the only person that makes it true. So please, do what makes you happy. Know that whoever or whatever is for you will not pass you by, and get excited because some of the best days of your life, some of the best people in your life you haven't even met, you haven't even experienced yet. But I know it can be really hard when we're leaving negativity behind and we're trying to level up and we're trying to reach our next best self. And sometimes those people in our life, this is going off tangent a little bit because it's not necessarily friendships, but it is definitely connections to people around you. Sometimes those negative ties, those negative energies can be people that we can't necessarily just say, okay, I don't know if I really want a friendship with you anymore. Sometimes those people are family members. And there's an expert in a book that is on my bookshelf called A Tribe Called Bliss. And I feel like actually a lot of you guys listening to this episode would love this book. It's by Laurie Harder, and it's about breaking through superficial friendships, creating real connections and reaching your highest potential. I really feel like you guys would love it. But there's an expert that is really relatable to this that I would love to read you quickly. And I feel like you need to hear it, so let me read it to you. For some people who aren't doing any work around self-awareness, being authentic can often get confused with staying the same. This can then feel inauthentic when people say to us, "You've changed," or "I miss the old you." How often have we all heard that? This can especially feel gut-wrenching when it's said in a negative way by someone from our past or even a family member who knows us better than anyone else. Changing can be frowned upon by those who love certainty and hate getting uncomfortable. These two things, however, are killers of growth, which is the purpose of life, and becoming authentically you, which is how you follow your bliss, aka how you find your higher self. Evolving is the lifeblood in the body of bliss. I may lose some of you when I say that your family and friends may not be in alignment with your journey. Part of being self-aware is knowing when someone is no longer meant to be walking in front of you or by your side, and when it's okay to pass them. Transcending the old familiar you is one of the hardest things we will ever do, because you have to say goodbye to your old life, and sometimes the people in it, if they're not willing to support or accept this upgraded version of you. Being authentic does not mean worrying about bringing others with you, feeling terrible that you've outgrown someone, and making their growth and happiness your responsibility. Instead, it's allowing yourself to be pulled forward in the direction of your soul, while the ones you travelled with choose to stay back, making peace with where they're at. I really hope that spoke to the person that needed to hear it today. It certainly spoke to me, because there was a huge part of my life around the time that I really started my YouTube channel, and I was definitely on a period of growth myself. It was like a huge level up area in my life was when I started my YouTube channel and the first few years of it. I definitely had to distance myself from people that were always in my life and around me, family members, friends, etc. I definitely had to keep myself to myself around these people a lot of the time during that period, because there was just no way I could be around their energy whilst being on my mission to want to level up and fulfill the potential of who I knew I could be. I knew that in order to save myself and to become this version of me that I had in my mind, I needed to let those people go. I didn't know if it was going to be momentarily. I didn't know if it was going to be forever. There is a cost to not being you, to not living to your full potential. And that cost, you're the only one paying it. Let them judge, let them gossip. Gossip comes from jealousy, it comes from trying to justify a situation, it comes from boredom, it comes from resentment, it comes from trying to fit in. Let them gossip about you. Essentially, they're not on the same journey as you. You're the only person that can really show up for yourself. Are you going to let these other people's opinions of you dictate how far you get into your path on your limited days? Because life goes so fast. I can't believe I'm already 27. I know to some people that might sound quite old. To some people that's going to sound really young in life. But if there was one thing that's going to make me feel emotional, it was the Barbie film and the montage that I don't want to give any spoilers, and I don't feel like this is a spoiler, but there's a really emotional scene towards the end that is kind of like a montage of a woman's life, right? It's clips, and I believe actually it was clips from all of the crew members or something, the production team, and it's like these old VHS clips of first you're a baby, and then you're a young child, and then you're a little girl, and then you're a teenager, and then you're at university and you're graduating, and then you're a young adult, and then perhaps you're having children of your own, and then your children get a little bit bigger, and then all of a sudden you find yourself perhaps with grey hair and wrinkles, and you find yourself so much further into your adult life, and it's like, oh my god, I can't believe I'm already at this point in my life where I'm having my own children. Like, where did that time go? And I'm not going to spend 1 second more of it being embarrassed or feeling ashamed about the path that I know I'm here to walk. And I hope you don't either. All the time I was doing that, I was losing the real me. I was losing myself. I was losing my inner child, and she is the most beautiful part to me. She is the most beautiful part to you. Think about who you are when you're a little girl. When my mum passed away, my uncle, my mum's brother, gave me his old VHS, and there were so many VHS tapes on there, yes, of course, of my mum, but also just of my childhood in general. We spent a lot of time with my mum's family when we were children. So there were loads of VHS clips of like Katie literally being a newborn and me being like nearly 3, and it went up all the way until I was probably about 8. And it actually makes me a bit emotional to think about it, really. It was such a beautiful reminder of who that girl in me is. And I'm sharing this because I know that you will be able to relate, or perhaps you won't. Perhaps your childhood was different to mine, and perhaps we have very different personalities, but I know this will speak to some of you. I loved being star of the show. I was always like, look at me. And actually something that is so beautiful now is I see Saint doing that so much time. He's always saying, look at me, mummy, look at me, daddy, look at me, everyone watch me. And that was me when I was a child. And I was so full of light, and I was so confident, and I was always sharing my experience, and I was always bringing everybody along with me in my emotions, and I was loud and I was happy. And watching these VHS clips really got me thinking, and I thought about how I got a little bit older and I started to become very aware of other people's perceptions of me and what they might be. And then I started telling the little girl in those VHS tapes to just quieten down a little bit. I started covering up her mouth. I said, you don't want people to think you're too much. You don't want people to think that you're taking away their light because you're shining so bright. And slowly but surely, the older I got, the more I put her away. I kind of locked her in a room and I shut the curtains and I tried to protect her, but really it wasn't protection. It was me being the only one locking her away and not sharing her with the world. And I forgive myself for that, because the points in my life I was doing that, I wasn't aware of the fact that gossip and hate and all of these things, other people's perception of you is nothing to do with you. I wasn't aware of that, but now I am. And so I'm here, as I hope you are with your inner child, welcoming them, telling them how amazing they are and how you never want to take their light away from them ever again, and they deserve to be here and they deserve a voice. And of course they're worthy of love. Of course they should share their gift with the world. Of course they should be who they are. And the right people, the right friends will find them, only if they allow it. And so that's where I want to end today, is just sharing with you that if you're feeling like you feel very alone at the moment and you haven't got many close friends and you wish you had other people to connect with, first of all, it's really about getting to love yourself and becoming aware of yourself. The rest of it just falls into place. And a prime example of that, a real world situation right now, is the Grown and Glowing That Girl Challenge group chat. 3,000 girls at the time I'm recording this, and we only launched this group chat 2 days ago. 3,000 girls are showing up, doing the work, with their head held high, saying, this is who I am, these are the kind of friends I want to have. And it's the most beautiful community I have truly ever been a part of. And if you've made it all the way to the end of this episode, I think you'd like it too. I'm so excited to be spending the next 30 days with you, doing this challenge to become that girl, to really put ourselves back in alignment with who we really are. And you never know, maybe through this challenge you might connect a little bit more with your inner child, who is so lovable, so worthy of all the good things in life. And I wish I could give you a big hug. So to finish off today's episode, we of course have our growing and glowing moments of the week, and mine are actually one of the same. And it's not going to come as a surprise that I'm focusing it around the That Girl Challenge. Doing the That Girl Challenge is my growing moment, because putting myself in a position where online I'm saying to thousands of girls and almost like being the instigator of all these girls' own challenges for 30 days, that's a huge part for me to play in keeping myself accountable, when I could really be playing into the excuses right now of, I have a newborn. I'm just not really feeling very body confident right now. I don't have time. I'm still getting used to life with 2 children, and I'm trying to do this, and I'm trying to put out a podcast episode and X amount of YouTube videos a week, and I'm really busy. I decided to cut that and to do what I knew my heart was telling me to do, my soul was speaking to me, and it was to start this challenge. And as I said, that ended up being around the very interesting Lionsgate energy, and I can't believe really, like, I think that's just such an example to us all of how if we just follow the energy that we're feeling at the time and surrender to it, like, beautiful things can happen with it. So it's my growing moment because of that, but it's also my glowing moment because in the last 2 days since we started this group chat, and in this time that we're going to be doing this challenge, we are really, really, really going to be glowing into the very best version of who we truly are. Listen, I want you to go off and have a wonderful rest of your week. The day that this episode goes live, I will actually be heading off on holiday in a couple of days, so I'm really excited for that. Make sure you're following me across my other platforms for all of the holiday content. But yeah, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week, my love. Listen, go and smash it. I'm so excited to see what you can do. Don't forget, your friends are out there. It's just about becoming who you truly are, surrendering to that, and being open to it. I love you so much, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye, guys.